Yo, can you guys hear me? Okay, that's great. How is everyone doing? Let me share the screen first. uh, Yo, Mudag, I'm doing great, man. How about you? I like Mong. What is Mong? Do you mean Mog? Also, Dr. Master, Walaikum Assalam. Um hey, third eye wave. Um, Higher deep? No, I don't think so. I think we eventually grind higher. Unless the stream is like super cursed and we nuke, but I don't have any confidence for we rejecting from here. But we'll see. Yo, Mike, how you doing, brother? What are your thoughts on Monkas? I haven't heard about them. I don't even know what they are or what it is. Uh, hmm. I think ETH catches up soon, even though it looks shit. It looks like a vomit right now, but it catches up hopefully. Uh, no third wave. There's someone else who asked about something like mangas. Yo Rahim, how you doing, brother? Wassalam. Catch till where? What do you, ETH? I think much higher to be honest. Once catch up begins, then probably it runs into 40 to 4300 at least. But we'll see. Also depends on BTC. Like for me, I don't see a single reason of like especially you can be bearish anything on the market right now, and you could provide me a logical reasoning, and I'd agree with that, right? But there is no reason you could like you could zoom out on BTC and anywhere be bearish on it, right? Also, a few more confluences that I'll talk about that make me think there is no way we marked out a local top over here. Is few are that first of all, this move to me, when I'm just focusing, and I think if there are people who are following me, we talked about as long as we are above this 12 level, above this 50 level on 12-hour RSI, and as long as we are holding above 66 65.5, there is no reason to be bearish, right? Just zoom out. BTC is still one of the best looking and most bullish looking charts right now, right? Same goes right now. Instead of focusing on intraday price action, someone getting bearish just because of this 1K sell off, post US sell off and stuff like that, just zoom out and just observe this 4-hour structure, right? And what I personally see is that this was the range we were in for a week almost, right? Where 69.2 was being our range highs, 66.5 was being our range lows, and few of the confluences, I think we don't, even though like it's a logical area to be expecting a rejection and a top, right? Lower high, range highs, something of this sort. But I personally rather think that first of all, if you people remember, and I think that went over, over our ETH plan as well. If you remember, the reason I expected ETH break was that earlier we had this range on ETH, like on very lower time frame, and we talked about that we already have had this range high deviation, and when we were on this move, we talked about there is very little chance that we do something like this because second. Range breaks and range attempt breaks are usually where we at least run the highs, right? What happens later is we'll see. But for me, we already got one fake out and one deviation above the range and move back down, right? Now, the second one, I at least expected to run the highs before any major move down. And when we are here, I don't think we mark out like 1, 2, 3, 4 now, like penta triple top or whatever you call that, and probably we run into all time highs. But before all time highs, there's still a lot to talk about, right? But one of the confluence being that I really never believe in two deviations within the same range, right? We had ones. Second ones are usually where we run higher, right? That counts as first confluence for me. Second is that when I compare these two moves, right, this was a rather impulsive move up, right? And we have talked about this in the past as well. Some good moves to short and fade are the ones that are impulsive, right? Like you out of nowhere get an impulsive push up into a logical area, there are good chances that that impulsive move Burj Khalifa's down, right? On the other hand, if that move is somewhat of this sort, where it's a slow grind consolidation, this is much rather way more healthier than just a single candle impulsive move, right? So when I on 4 hours compare these two moves up to the range highs, right? This one I see just being a fat single candle push up that got instantly faded down. This is rather something that's been happening for 2 days now, right? Slow grind down, consolidation, another slow move up. Like this entire move was like 4 4-hour candles, right? Not a single 4-hour impulsive candle similar to this, right? So second is this, right? One confluence being not believing in two deviations. Second being this rather being a healthier move rather than just a single impulsive move. And third confluence I have is that this wasn't, I would say, mostly like a dominance led move, right? If you people remember, this was the move where like all started running hot. ETH started running hot, right? Like this, if I'm not wrong, was the time where like ETH ran into new local highs or something, right? Like at least ran into closer to 4K, and alts were running good, and stuff like that, and memes were running good and all that, right? On the other hand, while we are here, while this entire move happened, alts are even trading lower than what they were trading at the range lows, right? Like most of the alts are still bleeding down despite this BTC push up. So for me, if there is a strong dominance led run where everything else looks shit, right? Like ETH, to be honest, if someone asks me to just do a independent analysis on ETH, it looks shit, right? It just looks something that is just ready to puke down, right? But for me, if ETH and others look like this, while BTC looks really bullish for me, those all those charts that look shit right now would eventually catch up, right? I don't know when. Maybe just like another sweep of the lows and then starts to catch up. But eventually, I think as long as BTC holds here, while everything else bleeds, it's really bullish for me, right? So these are like three of my major confluence of not expecting a local top right over here, right? At least not over here. Maybe run of these highs we'll see, but I don't think we are at closer to a local top or a weekly top over here just now, just for now. So these are like my three confluence that we talked about. Uh, why you closed so BTC? I don't like right now the price we have on BTC. This is literally where I closed earlier, right? And it wasn't because like even though I planned on to let it run higher, but this morning I woke up and I saw like a big OI push up with no major spot bids and stuff like that, and I was like, if we and that time we hadn't pushed two range highs, right? Like if we were here this morning, I wouldn't have TP'd. We were like a little lower, like 69ish, and we had not tapped the range highs, right? So for me, it was like if we do another move down into range lows, I would be happy to compound, right? Because in the past few days, we had been round tripping a lot of our BTC and ETH swing positions, right? Because we are long since 3740, and we have these multiple 3% move up that we keep on round tripping. So I was like, this time, okay, let's try to book some profits and re-long lower. But it's kind of at the same time, at the same price where I closed. So you could technically just long here and be in the same position you were this morning. Uh, Alts are trading shit right now, which makes me overall bullish because, like, for example, if BTC was not able to break here and everything else started running insane like it was over here, right? Like, for example, another good way to gauge if we are closer to a potential top is just try to remember these past two or three tops we had, right? This was basically the time ETH ETF hype began. ETH went insane, all started running really hot for a day. This was also pretty similar times, right? This is completely opposite of the last two tops, right? This is where actually everything else is just bleeding down still, right? Which kind of makes you think that entire focus right now of the market is on BTC. There are certain strong spot bets coming from, especially like Coinbase. So I personally think we rip higher on BTC. Also, we could bleed lower. ETH could even go to 3600. I don't care, right? It's a swing. I'm not even looking at that trade anymore. But for me, as long as BTC is holding here, there is no reason for me to be bearish. That's why I've reduced my intraday trades a lot, because this is in these conditions. If you are risking too much on your alts intraday with the bullish dominance conditions, you'll get chopped heavy before eventually market runs higher. Uh, is BNB a good indicator for alts? Like, we, yeah, 100%. I think the last time we had BNB range break above 300, if you remember, like 300 was a big level on BNB before it broke out, right? I remember those were the times where we had really good days on alts, and especially BNB running into all-time highs would be a like an insane risk on signal for the market. So yeah, I think it's a much better signal than ETH. I don't know why still people relate alt season with ETH, while we have had none of alts rotation happening with ETH, right? Most of the alts rotation have happened with Sol, and this time probably with BNB, if BNB ends up running into all-time highs. But BNB running into all-time highs is super bullish for the market. You can't bet against that. But still, I think it's still like trading 9% below all-time highs, and considering how slow of a mover it is, might take some time. Uh, uh, Please read this HBJ. I have no idea what bear dev means, but here there is a bear. Wait a minute. If you say that you don't mean what bear dev means, so how do you know there is a bear dev? Can you explain to? First of all, I don't look at divergences on daily, so I would be least concerned on that. Yes, I can see what you are talking about, right? ETH making higher highs, RSI making lower lows, but I could give you multiple examples on where it has happened on, let's say, like BTC. Like, okay, if you were a daily bear divergence trader, you would have probably called out a BTC top over here. Like not only one, there were like multiple. I would say like million bear divergences going on while we were slow grinding up on BTC right over here. Right, look at one, two, three, four, five, six higher highs, while one, two, three, four, five, six, seven lower lows on RSI, right? So any bearish daily divergence trader that was here calling out BTC top just because we had seven, eight bear divergences on RSI compared to the price action, you would have gotten wrecked big time or remained sidelined big time, right? Because you would have just believed in these bear divergences. I'm not saying this has to exactly repeat on ETH, but I am just saying that on trending and hot running stuff, higher time frame bear divergences really don't make sense. Yeah, it's good to learn and stuff, but I'm just saying that don't really believe in these, especially in like this daily and stuff like that, higher time frame divergences. Um, WIF doesn't look like it will make a new high. Why do you think that? Um, One of the reason you could say that WIF is lagging compared to what, let's say, like ETH meme coin like Pepe or Mog or even Sol meme coin like Bonk. Few reasons I could give you is one that ETH coins makes meme coins running insane made sense, right? Because this time when ETH had a 20% insane god candle, market had no choice of a ETH beta or like a better ETH beta than Pepe and ETH memes, right? That is the pretty much the reason why ETH memes went insane. Because whenever ETH is going up, market participants really tend to find some ETH betas, right? That's how it has been for the ETH runs in the past too. So ETH memes just ended up being the strongest ETH beta in the market. That's the reason they went insane. So that is one reason of WIF underperformance compared to like let's say Pepe or Mog, right? Second is now, what if? Why is the reason like it's underperforming compared to Bonk, right? That you could explain in a way that it's usually that for Sol ecosystem that earlier from December till you could say like from October November till December you could say we had Bonk run. Then Bonk pretty much either just stayed in a range or did nothing while WIF ran like made like a 30-40x run, right? And then now and throughout this period, one of the reason people just rotated out of Bonk into WIF was that WIF Bonk also experienced some major like few months of weekly unlocks, right? Now those unlocks are over and people kind of just chose Sol Bonk as their leading Sol meme coin, right? Eventually I think you'd get to see some good Bonk out of Bonk and into WIF rotation as well. Also, like Sol is the most lagging major right now on the market. That also explain why WIF hasn't been able to run like other meme coins, right? Because WEF has kind of been a strong Sol beta as well, similar to like Pepe being the ETH beta. So eventually, I think once Sol gets a run into like let's say $200 plus, I had shared a WEF accumulation plan, and if someone followed, where you'd be buying till $3, and I think it went 2 days before, like yesterday, I think it went till $3, and I still think it's a great accumulation. If you are like, for example, if you are someone who wants some Sol exposure and who is bullish on Sol eventually running higher, then probably having a bit of WIF exposure between these levels, like you could add lower till to 2.8 and $3 as well if it gives. But I believe that once Sol starts to run, and if you are bullish on Sol and you want Sol exposure, having a bit of WIF exposure wouldn't hurt you, because once Sol runs into $200, there is no argument that similar to WIF making new all-time highs when ETH started running, WIF would pretty much do the same too once Sol starts running into $200 plus. So just to look at things at broader perspective on what's happening, right? Just don't draw a few lines on WIF and start calling out tops, right? Start looking at what's happening around, how and in what manner meme coins are running, right? Why is market specifically focusing on a certain meme coin, and why certain L1 meme is facing strong bids and why other is not, right? Don't just draw a few TA lines on something and start calling out a top, or start calling out that it looks bearish and stuff. Just see things as beta to others, start seeing things as correlations to others, and overall looking at market at a bigger perspective than just your individual lines and the chart you are looking at, right? So what's happening? I think BTC looks really bullish, man. I'm a bit mad at myself why I am not like major BTC exposure right now, and rather ETH and meme coins exposure, because I would have been the most happiest person right now if I was just big size long from lows and just holding that, to be honest. These are the conditions where not having BTC exposure and having majors and alts exposure would be really painful. But I think that pain ends soon once we break a bit higher. HPG, you have to check base meme coins. Yeah, true, true. I think that's one thing I'm missing. Brit is a base meme coin, if I'm not wrong, right? And it's been going insane. I saw it. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Is Brit base meme coin? Yeah. Yeah, true. Is there any like Brit similar thing going on base too, or you are saying that base meme coins are going insane just because of Brit? Toshi, the cat coin? I remember someone mentioned me Toshi at very low, like low market cap and stuff, and I still faded it. What's the market cap on Toshi and what's it bit doing? Is it like running insane? Toshi, Rahim, 25% kind of is like something you saw on every cat meme coin. Like Popcat, I think, was also 20% up today. And the major reason was the return of, why do I forget his name? Kitty, what? Roaring Kitty, right? So just because of his $200 million position, and GME being 100% up pre-market, so he's like a Tradify meme stocks GCR kind of a person, and if stock memes are up, means crypto memes are up, and if he has a cat personification, means that cat coins kind of due to that perform decent. Like Popcat was up good. I believe Toshi is also the reason it's up good. uh Yeah, here we have Crude today shilling his Mew. How is Mew been doing, Crude? Share me a Mew chart. I have never looked at the Mew chart. How is GME doing, Rahim? Like, has it retraced once again, like last time, the entire push, or like, is it actually trending still up? But whatever Roaring Kitty is doing with GameStop and the insane money he's milking out, it's just fucking insane. That guy is just about to reach $1 billion through his public trading within I would say like what, 3 4 years. Insane. No, no, not the meme coin, actual GME. It's still 20% up. Not bad. I hope so that this GME run doesn't instantly fade away like last time, because if you remember the last time it instantly faded away, crypto meme coins faced a major lag in hit for short term as well. So I hope it continues trending high. Let's see. Um who is making a billion? Roaring Kitty. HBJ, you need to check out CoinGuru streams from Dex Plays. Ari or Ara, the issue is, first of all, I agree. CoinGuru is insane on his on-chain plays and in his on-chain analysis and stuff. But I have told in the past too, I am not too much into on-chain, or like I know I talk about memes a lot, but I am not into the meme trenches, right? Until something is like above 100, 200 million market cap and starts getting hype and starts trending, I don't even look at that meme, right? Because the fact is that, like 99% of the memes wouldn't come out on the top, right? Unless you are a really good rotator, constantly flipping meme coins and doing that stuff. I don't see a reason you could be bullish on a lot of meme coins and buy all of them and continue holding, right? You need to be constantly rotating between the hype, between where the market is interested in, between the narratives, between the chains and stuff like that. I am not into that. I am just focused on the things that eventually, uh, you know, come out as winners, and then I begin to, invest into them or trade them. uh, so yeah, what? Okay, enough of meme discussion. What else do we have to talk about? I overall think we rip higher on BTC. Man, the Twitter bots have like improved in a way that earlier it used to be just, you post something and there used to be a lot of shells below and people just like Twitter bots commenting about some random, shit project and stuff like that. Now they have learned in a way that I posted on Twitter that we don't believe in second deviations and it's going higher. And there is a bot that commented that we don't believe in second deviations, but we do believe in first class launch pads like Leap, and it's about to moon. Like they have learned how to use your exact tone and your exact post into their shells. Um, I say we start nuking because of this. I don't think so. I think we okay. As a matter of fact, so that we are able to not misinterpret the stream. This stream began when BTC was around 68,950, and I think put it down over here as well so that anyone who comes here to say me that my stream started nuking the price, this is the price where we started the stream, and we are kind of still trading above that. So. Can you check this question? Okay. ACI chart looks pretty shit on both hard and yeah. Even though I haven't looked at the chart, but I pretty much agree with you. Um, yep. Uh, yeah. I think I have talked about this like 100 times by now, and I think it was last Rahim who mentioned about SEI and stuff, and we talked about how we are bare retesting this 50 level, and as long as we don't reclaim these previous range lows, it could very well just keep on bleeding down, right? Maybe this is the bottom, right? Triple bottom sort of thing going on, but you are much better waiting for the flip higher at least, right? If it ends up flipping higher, then yes, I agree, it's a really bullish setup to take, right? Like it would give you a lot of confluences in a way that this is the downtrend it has been in, right? So once you get this flip, it would also mean that it has broken out of this downtrend. It has flipped previous range lows at 60 cents, 58, 60 cents, and that's where you start scaling in. And until then, I don't see a reason um you could keep on betting here. Any um any idea on good re-entry on Mu? Groot, I never gave a single entry on Mu, right? So what do you mean by re-entry on Mu? Um I got rid of Messi bag when HBJ said wait for me. Yeah, that's good. Um can you Popcat? Let's see. On my swing, I got stopped break even after TP1, which wasn't a good feeling to have, but it looks decent, I would say. Uh, I think this is a really good. Like, I think it's holding pretty well compared to other memes, right? Like, even Pepe, Bonk, they all are like bleeding a little, while Popcat is like, look at this 4 hour close. I think you could try a position here, but keep a tight invalidation because this is a major flip that Popcart gave 44, 45 cents, these Bybit listing highs. So what you could do is, I am personally not in, as a disclaimer, not taking this trade because I am already exposed decent on the memes and overall market, so don't want to stress with my risk. But I think you could do something of this sort where you place your validation. Either it could be hard stop loss if you are, not that you don't want to take much risk on your capital, because with the manual stop loss there is a risk that it could just, like, print a big fat candle down and make you slip more loss. So either hard or manual, your choice, but I think below this wick should be your invalidation, and as long as we are holding this clean looking flip, I think it could trend higher. Looks pretty decent. And as I said, due to the Roaring Kitty return, or not return, he kind of returned few weeks back, but due to his recent hype, cat coins have been doing decent. So maybe they trend higher, to be honest. Looks decent, I would say. So you could try a position, have your invalidation below this wick, the recent wick. Yeah, I thought that too, Rahim, to be honest. The way it was trading, uh, like the first TP level we had, it never went above that, even though it kept on slow consolidating below it. That made me really bullish on it because the way it was just slow consolidating below our the our TP level, and I was just hoping for a flip sooner, but it just instant reversed back down. ARPA, the shitcoin ARPA. Okay, fact check. We are trading $300 above. I started trading stream. I started streaming the market, right? So you people never acknowledge if market goes up when I stream, right? It's always like it goes down $100 and you start creating FUD for my streams that HBJ nukes the market. I should have, like, if I have such a strong confidence of this not being the top, why aren't we longing a bit of BTC? And let's not do it. It would be such an aggressive play with longing right under res. It's not. uh, 20 out $20 on a certain coin. You love to nuke us. Okay. HBJ's style is to get 100% on spot and sell. What coins do you see get the return if you see the most bullishness on alts? So you're asking me to pick what alts would lead. Before that, you have to pick what narratives would lead in the coming weeks, right? Usually, my topic would have always been memes, but I'm a little, to be honest, concerned on meme after this GME thing today, because I woke up really bullish on memes, but then later found out that a lot of the meme push today was due to Roaring Kitty return and GME's trading 100% higher on pre-market. And you remember the last time that happened, it got faded instantly, and meme crypto meme coins took a big hit, right? So I don't want that to repeat. So maybe I'll give it a day for that GME thing to see if it hopefully doesn't get faded instantly, so that memes keep on going up. So probably still my first bet would be memes, but obviously keep in mind what GME does in coming days. Like, hopefully, it doesn't, fade away instantly. Always, my first pick is meme. There is no way you could fade memes in this cycle, so probably meme. And then, if you have to pick a bet on meme, I think it would be Pepe for me, right? Like, you could get some Pepe spot exposure within this range, right? As I said, Pepe is a swing position for me. I'm personally low leverage. You could buy spot, have like a 12-13% invalidation, which is like not much considering it's spot. And for example, like, if you have smaller capital and you don't find the return and tendency to buy something like, for example, ETH, right? Because ETH isn't going to give you multiple X's like few alts could do. So I would personally just buy Pepe as a beta, right? So for example, Pepe could just keep on being within this range for a while, but once ETH catches up and starts breaking, obviously this coin that market is going to bid heavy as a ETH beta, right? And there's no better choice than Pepe right now. So I think Pepe. Secondly, apart from, okay, so you don't want memes. Okay, anything apart from meme, I would say obviously RWA. The reason being that it's kind of like, if you're bullish on ETH and if you're bullish on the ETH ETF approval, RWA coins would keep on going up, right? Because every time there is a talk about BlackRock doing something or some fund doing something with the ETF approval or with ETH, the tokenization narrative and the funds attachment with crypto and stuff like that, that would keep on driving the RWA narrative, right? So 100% apart, second to meme, it would be RWA. So like, for example, if you're not comfortable bidding onto this high, then probably buying something like, let's say, token, right? I'm still holding on to my, yeah, probably Bong takes a stop loss, man. It looks shit. So I won't be taking any new intraday trades, to be honest, unless BTC breaks higher. Alts are trading shit right now. But yeah, coming back to the discussion, wow. Did I just close the Swift bottom long and now it's 5% up? Stream is lagging. Is it happening with anyone else too? uh, okay. So yeah, after reading these many no's, Granny Smith, probably it's something on your end, right? Can you chart Blur? No, I'm not fading ARPA or Blur. I'll take in your alt request. Just give a bit of time. Doesn't even know what this mean. Binance will restrict availability. User. Okay. I, I won't probably understand half of it. I'm about 75% down Planet. What's Planet? It's RW. It doesn't do anything while Ondo and other are moving. Any idea why? I don't know, man. I have never heard about Planet, so probably I have no idea on what the fundamentals are. Are they even actually RWA, right? Because a lot of people fall into, like, there was someone that got into an argument with me in Charts Ideas that he tagged me saying that what was the coin name? Hi-Fi, right? HIFI. Um, so he kind of said me that this coin on coin market cap has RWA with its name too, right? So would it be a good buy? My point is, first of all, never fall into the scam of certain coins mentioning leading narratives into their what you would say like bio, or into their, you'd call that a bio, right? That comes up in the coin market cap website, right? uh, so whatever it is, but just because a coin has a certain narrative in its bio, or in its in its like, what would you say? But yeah, just having a RWA tag doesn't mean that, like, for example, this is somehow also having a RWA tag with itself, right? Zoom out, entire RWA narrative is doing this while it is something doing this, right? Is it any longer something you would consider as a good RWA buy? I don't think so, right? So same probably goes with what you are saying. I personally have never heard about Planet, or what coin is this, what chain on it is on, or stuff like that. But I'm just saying that if a narrative is running hot and the coins on that narrative are doing multiple X's by now, and then there is something that's actually down, makes no sense to be bullish on that anymore, right? Uh, Mike, I don't personally like, for example, let's compare the two. Like, I have like, is it the case? And I don't know why, like, Pendle has never been on my watch list for, like, ever since, if you remember, it had like a 30-40% nuke in a day. Ever since that, it has never been in my watch list. And I'm not too sure, but does it really move along with other RWA coins? Like, for example, the day when like Ondo is going up, and True, and RSA, and Token, and these RWA are going up. Does it have a correlation with them? Because I know that Pendle has been really strong, and it's like something that's really close to all time highs. But I don't know how much strong of a RWN RWA narrative it has to it, and how much correlated it actually is with the with the rest of the RWA bucket. So I can't say much. Like, if you want my thoughts on Pendle, I could give it, but as a RWA play, I can't say much. I don't know, man. Like, after the initial hype on CT, and I remember the smart money guy, with his big funds, longing it, Max longing it, and stuff like that. After all that hype, even though other RWAs have been running higher, it's been doing nothing. In fact, it's been bleeding down. So, like, especially in regards to RWA, I don't have really good confidence on it. But other than that, uh, looks a bit weird, I would say. But still, not something you could say that it looks bearish, or it is weak, or it looked dead, because it's something that's still pretty close to its all-time highs. So probably, like, as long as it's holding five above 5.8, it's good. If not, be ready to cut it down quick, right? You don't want it to bleed below 5.8. That's all I would say. OM? Yeah, I saw like OM lagging a lot compared to other RWAs. Then out of nowhere, in the last RWA rotation, it caught up well. Yeah, I would say that it's a decent looking chart, to be honest. I think this is also a good flip on it to. What's this candle? Okay, I'm not touching it. Like, earlier when I was looking at this 12-hour chart or this 4-hour chart, it made me feel like it's a good looking flip that you could try a position on. But then this 4-hour candle looks like super weird candle. I don't know what caused this, but when you zoom out, it does look like a decent flip, I would say. Mog, I agree on high time frame. It is still to me one of the most bullish looking, like 500 million cap plus coin that's currently on the market. I just ask to me some myself sometimes that when I have such a high conviction on BTC, why just don't I simply just long BTC with good size instead of being in a pain of alts? Like look at it being like already up $400-500 since we began the stream. Yeah, I'm talking about like right now, intraday. Even intraday, I could have long day, but yeah, never mind. Hopefully, BTC runs higher and our alt start catching up. Wow, it was such a bottom tick on whiff. What's Pepe doing? Okay, finally catching up. uh, is it about RWA tokens? What is about RWA tokens? Bro, what is Abe Blue? I don't know. I've never heard about it. VT long term analysis. Uh, n- you have much better things holding on long term than VT. That's all I would say. Like I wouldn't even look at the chart. Just knowing, being a market participant from last cycle, VT is just some dead stuff from last cycle. Just get over it, man. It's like in the same. I would put it in the same class as as RSR, as Link, as okay, not Link. Link is like a trending major right now lately after its partnership, but XRP and ADA and Matic, right? I would just put VT in that same category. Uh, no, that specific member asked about long term analysis, right? Long term means like okay, even on every time frame it looks shit. First of all, right, I take my words back. But that specific member asks about long term, right? Like, and by long term, I assume he is asking that he buys and expects some good returns in the few coming next months, right? My point is that it's not that VET would never go up. It could do something like a 20, 30, 40% move up, but by the time it would do this, a lot of alts would be like going much higher. Uh, Apart from that, I could see why some people are bullish on VT. This typical retail falling wedge something, but falling wedges could keep on falling, right? That's usually like my kind of belief. Yeah, literally, like RI. First of all, you need to like have a good pronouncing name. But yeah, he tried to put what I say in perspective on high time frame and long term. Yeah, they're still running. Krina, what kind of coins are better to have? I would say something it's not like a general rule of not betting anything from last cycle, right? Like I see a lot of people drawing like like a very hard rule of just betting on new coins. A lot of time new coins could end up being shit too, right? Like look at what W is doing, what Saga and all these newer airdrop listing coins have been doing, right? They have been dying too. So it's not like a hard and fast rule of always betting the new cycle coins. The point is, if there is something like, for me a big no is that if there is a last cycle coin, it's not like I would never buy any last cycle coin, right? Like Sol is a last cycle coin, it is like one of my top conviction plays of the cycle. But um for me, if something like, for example, let's look at the weekly chart, right? If there is something that looks like this on higher time frame, where there is a chart that's still trading at its bear market prices, while we are like halfway through the bull market and things have ran multiple x's, and then there is like a higher cap last cycle stuff that's just been doing nothing for the past days, right? Like, don't get me wrong, when you get the next stage of bull market and hopefully a good alt season, then everything would be running hot. VT could probably do something like this by the cycle top and then just dies back down. So even if you are expecting something like this on VT, that's still like a 2x gain, right? But that's the max I would say that VT could ever go, right? But then I see people buying such coins in last cycle coins and expecting something like, okay, VT last all time highs is at 27 cents, so good chances it goes there, right? Like VT even didn't go to its uh, all time highs when BTC made all time highs the next time, in the summer 2021, if I'm not wrong, right? So how could you say that this time it goes here, right? I don't think even it goes here, right? The max I could say that VT would ever touch this cycle is this. Just take out these swing highs. If it ever goes here, I am telling you, like, it would be one of the highest conviction swing shots that you could build for the coming bear market, because high chances is once these, swing highs get taken out, this thing just dies fully, right? So just don't buy anything that's from last cycle, higher cap, and is doing nothing throughout this bull market. I bought the top of Manta. Yeah, that's my point, right? It's not like a hard rule that anything new is really good, right? Like we have a lot of newer coin examples that are, just shitting the bed, right? Like Manta, Dem, all the. But I would also say that following narrative is also important, right? For example, on Manta, Dim, TIA, you had that modular narrative that ran hot initial stage of the cycle, right? But then once that modular narrative got faded away, right? TIA topped out, Manta, Dim topped out. There was no point in being bullish on these coins any longer, right? And I don't see a reason how that narrative, to be honest, personally, I don't think modular narrative comes back. So that's the reason I'm no longer interested in coins like TIA, Dim, Manta, Alt. I think Alt is also another model narrative coin, right? So we have had a lot of streams where BTC did go up, right? It's not like it's always down. uh yeah, Dot is another example of something that you can't expect ever to breach its previous all-time high, like ever. uh yeah, again, right? This also put, like, the example Ara gave, that for example, then there are coins like AR and Near, right? They are last cycle, they are higher cap, but at the same time, they are not something I would fade, right? Just because they are last cycle coins. They are, even though they are last cycle, but they have built and transformed into some strong narratives now that the market is actually interested in and have been performing decent the past months, right? So it's not like a hard and fast rule that don't buy anything from last cycle and always buy this cycle coins. But I'm just saying that just focusing on that, does market really focuses on what you are buying, right? What's the point in buying VET, right? What's the narrative that could ever catch up with VET, or what would actually make VET go up? Because this cycle, another thing to focus on this cycle is, throughout this market, you should be realizing by now that this cycle, it has a limited capital constraint, right? It's not throughout this bull market, even though a lot of stuff has done multiple x's, but you have realized by now that at every stage there is some limited capital that's rotating around narratives, right? It's never been everything going up this cycle so far, right? So this should make you realize that before buying anything, you should just ask yourself, especially like long term investing and stuff like that, that what would make that limited capital go into your coin, right? It's not that BTC would go up and your coin would make up all time high, right? There needs to be some reasoning behind your bias if you are buying long term. For example, okay, it's AI, it's RWA, it's meme, right? These are things that market could, have that limited capital in this bull market could get some rotation, find some interest in. uh, Thank you, sir. VT is official again. I think I went over that in the past, right? Anything just having a RWA tag shouldn't justify you buying it, right? I could launch a coin right now and put every strong running narrative name with it, right? I can launch a coin, put AI against it, put RWA against it, put meme against it, anything, right? Make a combination of all bullish narratives. Would you just simply start buying my coin just because I put those three things on the side of on my coin description on my white paper or something, right? Just having that name with your coin doesn't mean that your coin would go up, right? Are they actually doing something RWA related? Are they actually attached to some funds? Are they actually working on tokenization, right? All that matters, right? Just having RWA with its name or in its description doesn't make sense. And yeah, I agree. Following John is a great suggestion because he's really good with his instincts and his knowledge on catching up the potential narratives and things that would run hot and stuff like that. So, what else do we have to talk about? Cardano gang. Um who remembers when BTC crashed due to war 3 4 times? And it, first of all, just to prove your point, I would say that it's been way more times than that. Not only we have been on stream during war floods, but we have also been on streams during like the two biggest flush this bull cycle so far, bull market so far. So I know we have experienced some major nukes and some major, black swan events on the stream, but doesn't mean every stream is going to be that. Uh, Yeah, true. I agree. We were also on the ETF day, like we. There was another interesting day. Like, if you people remember the SSC hack, right? During the BTC ETF days, the SSC hack we got. That was also the time we were on stream, right? And I literally closed. Like, we were long on BTC. I called out a BTC long for the group, and I literally closed it like 30 minutes before that happened. I began the stream, and as soon as we started the stream, the fake ETF news came out, right? The SEC Twitter got hacked, and the fake approval came out. And we all together were crying on stream because we just because we thought that if it's we didn't anyone didn't know that it was a fake approval, right? We all thought it's ETF approval came, and we closed our Pico BTC long right before the approval, right? And just then 10 minutes later, I think, or like 15 minutes later, when actually SSE posted that it's fake and stuff like that, we got like instant Burj Khalifa rejection down, and everything nuked hard. And that was actually the time I got happy that it's we are glad that we are not long. uh Dominance outlook, okay, we can have a look, but SLP. What is this chart, man? How is anyone willing to trade this chart and trade this move? Like, either you caught this scam run, but for now, just don't trade this, man. Like, it would just keep on doing this for infinity, or like I don't know. Like I'm not a fan of trading such rejections once it's done. Mm, ILV. Yeah, I saw gaming coins catching some bids past days. Even though ILV used to be on my bullish list for gaming coins, but ever since it lost the 100 level, I don't think I would be interested in ILV higher time frame unless it gets a strong close above 100, something. Yeah. Wibonk has not taken a stop set. Let's see. A bit mad on sticking to bonk while whiff bounced 5% from my entry. I'll just stop trading intraday, to be honest. Intraday is too much chop and too much weird price action. Just stick to our Pepe, ETH, Mog, and token swings for a day or two unless we finally break high on market. Because BTC could just keep on doing this. Alts could keep on bleeding, trap people, and then we eventually run higher. So no interest in trading the chop, to be honest. Uh, can you check ENA? Yeah, I agree. One of the reason with like overall, I think we have talked about ENA multiple times and how like ENA is like if anyone is looking to buy a newer coin that that got sold off strong past days, ENA would be on the top of my list, and we have talked that multiple times in the past stream. But the recent move is also fueled by a lot of big CT accounts, constantly mentioning about it. So that's also one of the reason. But yeah, I agree. Uh, ETH has a bit of ETH beta narrative, a bit of its, uh, you know, um I think Athena actually is about farming fundings, if I'm not wrong, right? It's like their major revenue system and stuff is that they farm fundings and funding arbitrage, if I'm not wrong, right? Uh, yeah. So overall, I think it's a good narrative to have some sort of exposure, I would say. Chart doesn't look bad. Also, now with with Athena being I think the largest player right now, I would say, in farming funding, and a lot of other players coming hopping on too. Now all those people just making analysis based on funding gets even more irrelevant, right? Like I'm always against of just having a bias just because of funding, right? We have talked about multiple times on how funding alone is pretty much irrelevant, right? Those particular numbers doesn't tell you much unless you include some flow analysis and actual positioning on the market, right? Negative funding just doesn't mean that there are more shorts and it would go higher, or like positive funding doesn't mean that it's bearish and it would nuke down, right? So, not only now that funding alone in the past was not that much, useful, but now with these, things, companies and, players into farming funding, putting big funds into just farming funding arbitrage and stuff like that. I think now even funding analysis gets even more irrelevant, to be honest. Okay. But yeah, in summary, I think ENA is a good exposure to have. We have been talking about it since like 80 cents. It's up a lot since then. Still think it's a good buy as long as it's ranging here. It's I think a good like if I have to make a bet, a good conviction bet on the past runner list, like past not past runner list, past like newer coin that got sold off list. ENA would probably be the one I would bet with conviction that it ends up making new highs eventually. Bonk. Did it? Yeah. We had a stop loss of 3 2. Let me check exact stop loss. It was 3 2 3225. No, it still has not. 3225 is here. It's exactly here. So, not yet. No, it's. Wait a minute. Stop loss is 3225. No, it's actually lower, man. Like, how? Maybe it goes there as well, but yeah, it has not yet. Yeah, just look at BTC just doing small mini rejection and all just saying that, okay, Allah is, we are about to die. Weird conditions. Meanwhile, look at Popcat still grinding higher. uh, Dex screener chart, yeah, I agree because it would show me the entire run. But overall, yeah, even if I'm not looking at Dex screener chart, it does look good. Brett, wow, what happened with Brett? What was the sell off? Wow, can someone explain me this? Ah, also, wow. I think I actually tagged Tariq here because he plays this coin a lot, and I tagged him, and it could be decent long since it was flipping these 4 hour highs, and I just saw that we missed a 30% move. Insane. Yeah, I think a good call from Tariq. What a buyback, man. Like, just look at it. Almost a 45% dump, followed by instant 70% buyback. Insane. Ah, so it was only on Bybit? That's insane. This makes me think that usually Bybit meme coins move a bit together. What's Smog doing? Never mind, it's still not looking that strong. Ah, that reminds me, there's another Bybit shitcoin meme coin. Turbo, yes. How many is. What? Did Turbo get listed on Binance? how could I miss this short opportunity, man? Like, ah, I just mentioned it to someone that just wait for Turbo like few days back, that just wait for Turbo to get listed on Binance, and that would probably market tops. Yeah, I did. How could I miss this short opportunity, man? Like, I think this is where it got listed on Binance. This was just a complacent bounce and marked out the top. Pretty much, this would be the top for rest of the time. Now just wait for Bread to get listed on Binance. Probably it does the same too. Or maybe not. It's more of like into some shit coins and stuff. Some do get continuation further. Like if you remember Bonk Binance listing, right? Bonk ended up running much higher after the Binance listing. So maybe Bread does the same. But Turbo was an obvious top. Bonk, what? How could it come to you as a surprise? Bonk has been on Binance like 6 7 months now. You know, right? That it's a multi-billion-dollar meme coin. Okay, let's find some like trending shit coins and stuff, or some trending meme coins. What do you think running? What do you see running strong today? Because usually when rest of the stuff is bleeding down, if there are few things that are some shit coins or some things that are running against the alt bleed, they tend to run strong. ARPA? Okay. ARPA is a good shitcoin that usually goes well when like shitcoins are running. Hmm. Let's look at the flow on ARPA. Hmm. Strong spot bids, I would say, in this push up. The only thing I would want to see is, let's look at higher time frame. Yeah, for it to just like run a bit more, right? I know it might sound weird that why do I want to long higher than right now, but for me, a shitcoin to prove itself that it's going to run higher. Like for example, if you remember, 2 days ago we took a spell long, right? That gave us like a 15% move within few hours. It was already up 20% on the day when we longed, right? So for me, a lot of shitcoins just move a little and then fade back down, right? I don't want to long those. I want to long those that are like running strong. So I would wait for a few more green candles on ARPA, so that with some perp momentum catching up. For now, it's just spot momentum, which looks bullish. But if it ends up breaking here with a strong perp momentum coming in, then probably I'll start chasing with invalidation below the CLO box. What else apart from ARPA? classic HBJ stream nuke. What? Are you serious, man? Just for people like you, where is my message? I I know put down the exact price the stream started at. Let me find my message. Where is my message? Where is my message? It might be too much higher. Hmm. Yes, this is the message. So this was the exact price I put down when the stream started. So we are still trading $300 above that price. I want to long some Popcat, I won't lie, but nah, I'll stick to my rule of not taking any intraday trades unless it's some good conviction. Even though I think Popcat runs higher, but unless it's I think some shitcoin running strong, I won't be taking new trades. Wow, Lena is on the top of my spaghetti chart. Let's look at that. Hmm, this looks interesting. Okay, we might have a trade. Let's look at the flow. Hmm. Let's wait for this break above on Lena. I think if it flips here, it could run strong. Look at what you did. This is not what I did. This is what you are doing to yourself, right? You are bringing this to yourself on sticking to this salt and let's look at higher time frame, Lena. Yeah, it's giving me some good scam run vibes. CHC? Okay. Hmm. As I said, I'm not saying that I agree with, especially with the football narrative and stuff like that. Okay, also, if you people want to see how good it was trading bear market, these were kind of like the easy shots that we used to take, right? Just get below a support and just start like max shotting it, right? And it was like a 40% dump right after that. Good times. But yeah. uh on high time frame, I would say it looked decent, especially with the football narrative and stuff. You could expect it to break higher. But right now on intraday, when alts are like bleeding and looking so weak, I'm, to be honest, not interested in things that are not looking strong on the day, right? Like intraday, like on high time frame, yes, I agree it could bottom somewhere around here. But I really don't want to get into a pain of a long that just keeps on doing this or bleeds, and I just have to keep on staring at while it does nothing, right? And eventually, like after a day or two, it breaks higher, right? So right now, I'm kind of interested in like coins like, for example, Lena, right? That are actually trending higher and running strong against the alt split right now. Bong did stop. Let me see. Yeah, it did. 3225. Yep, for sure it did. What a puke down and Bong, to be honest. What other alts are? Yeah, only like, what's this? Alice? But yeah, most of the alts zoomed out are just bleeding lower. Just probably focus on the alts that too long that are like on the top of a spaghetti chart. Ladies? Okay. Hmm. Doesn't look bad. What are you looking for, ladies? Like, it's a really high volatility coin to be trading on leverage, right? Like, for example, even though zoomed out, it would seem like it's a good, place to long and have invalidation below this level. But even having a tight invalidation on such volatile coin means that you'd be having like a 18% invalidation, right? That's insane. I personally don't see a reason how you could push on leverage on such coin for probably like a spot play. Then yeah, I agree that I think eventually it could do something like this as long as this flip holds. Bot spot, and that's good. Yeah, I think these like super high volatility meme coins, you are much better just doing spot. AR. Hmm. I would say yes. First of all, I don't like. I think most of the structures on the market that look like this, we have talked about in the past. These Pepe similar, near looking Pepe, near Mog, AR, all these have like pretty similar structures. Like Pepe before it started running. I think these two eventually run on intraday. I might be interested in a long soon, but once it flips back these range highs, which would be like once it gets above $43, probably I'd look for a long. And surprisingly, while like a lot of alts have been bleeding a lot past few days, it has been holding decent, I would say. Still within this tight range. Can you check blur? Okay. Nah, not interested. The reason being, blur was on my list few days back, but the way like this was a major flip on blur, right? Like you could pretty much see how clean this level has been on blur on the past, right? Like every time either rejecting or bouncing off from the same level, right? For me, I could have been bullish on blur as long as it held above this flip, right? 43 centish. So I would only be interested back if it ends up flipping back, right? That's my take. If you get this, then that's a really good trigger. But until then, not. Token feels like it could roll over for real. Nah, I still think it. I think it's still like you need to zoom out, right? It's a spot play, and this is how the chart looks higher time frame, right? Clean looking flip. Uh, and while rest of the market has been like doing this, like for example the blur example I showed, right, it pretty much just deviated below the flip and it's bleeding down, while I think zoom out on token, it's still within this what's the range, like 1350 till 15 cents range that it has been. I don't see a reason to be bearish on it. HB, did you change anything in the last 2 3 months? You have been crushing it, thanks. uh, I would not say I have changed it anything now. I would just say that the first first month or two had been like the worst, I would say, in my like 3 4 years of trading. But then I think I just let go the bad things I did during that range, like early Jan Feb range. If you remember, those were like not I. You could never blame the market that the conditions were bad. It was just how you react to those conditions. Every time it consolidates 60 50 RSI, it crashes. Look at the previous peak PA. Every time at what time frame are you talking about? Again, man, I'm not here to argue, right? If you feel that, then yeah, you can act upon it, right? Don't be exposed to token, or like if you have short triggers, feel free to short it. I'm just saying the triggers I have, the narrative behind it, and overall, I am still bullish on token and expect it to run higher. I think probably we got like Pico stopped on bonk bottom. Never mind. RSI on daily, what it's telling you. I don't see anything interesting on the daily RSI. What are you saying that on daily whenever it touches 60, 70, it nukes? I could provide you an opposite example too. Like for example, uh, the first time it tapped here, right? This was pretty much the time it tapped for the first time 70 level. You'd agree with me, right? After this all consolidation, like it's doing, like this is the consolidation, this is the consolidation, this is the first time it tapped 60, 70 level, right? Did it nuke? It was just a small rejection, just like you have a small rejection over here, consolidated for a while and then look at the massive run on it, right? So RSI, when looked at objectively, like just alone, without any confluence, doesn't provide you any sort of confluence or logic. Like n- what you are actually trying to say is the typical overbought oversold RSI theory, right? That whenever thing is anything is at 60, 70, it's oversold, you should sell, and whenever it's 20, 30, you should buy. Just give me an example of any single, and I am talking about entire crypto space or even like stocks or any asset you could pick, right? Give me an example of any single asset in financial markets that went into an insane run, right? I am talking about like multiple x's run or like at least a 50, 100% run that did not start its run when like RSI started tapping for 60, 70 for the first time on higher time frame. Those are actually the times where runs start, right? And I don't see a reason how they could teach you. And I know, like, I personally was even taught this in my university financial class, right? I took a course on what was the name of the course? Um, it was, I don't even remember the name, but yeah, we were taught this RSI overbought oversold thing, right? That's like I think the worst concept that you could make anyone learn, right? Because most of the runs, like 99% of the runs, actually start when RSI taps the 60, 70 level, because that technically tells you that buyers are stepping in. What is even overbought, right? You need things to be overbought so that they could be go higher, right? Do you really want your things to be oversold or like be down so that they could go up, right? Like I don't find any sort of logic behind that theory. Okay, what else do you have to talk about? I feel like I have good energy today, so probably would stream for a bit longer, so don't make me get bored early. LRC? Again, man, my point is that first of all, God, this was so on point. If you people remember, I shared RLC example that where the final move comes after the slow grind up and then it went up like 10%. But yeah, never mind. Let's look at. My point is that if you somewhat believe in a run coming, and I could see why anyone, like, I think most of the people right now are talking about coins scam running are the coins that are just consolidating below a trend line, right. I could agree with that theory, but for that, then just probably buy a bit of spot with tight invalidation and forget about it, right? Because a lot of these like weaker alts that are bleeding down, they could keep on doing that before eventually BTC breaks higher, right? So I could agree with the thesis that maybe some break soon because it's been consolidating below this trend. But intraday longing, you need to find some stronger alts. Yeah, bonks stopped out. I'd probably like stop taking a little bit of challenge trades for like a day or two. Like either a pullback, which I really doubt, or a break high on BTC, because BTC consolidation at highs is usually the worst time to be taking intraday alts position, because market just keeps on pushing more and more money into BTC around highs to expect a break. Alts would keep on bleeding, so not getting chopped, to be honest. Uh, hey XT, how you doing, brother? So similar thoughts on LRC as VT. Now VT we talked about, like, are you like willing to buy LRC like long term? Then yeah, probably same thoughts. Like, I don't see any reason why anyone would be buying LRC. But I'm just talking about, like, yeah, it does look good for break at some stage of the time, the way it's consolidating below trend. But intraday, I think you are still better focusing on stronger coins. Mina strong. Okay. I remember when like Mina was getting heavily shelled on CT like early this bull market during this run up. What did they start calling Mina holders? What was it? Mina Manis? Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. CT hype is insane, but yeah, I could agree why you would say that. It, it is looking strong on the day. Hmm. It's kind of a weird chart where I can't have like really certain levels. No, I can have a level and it does explain how I'd play. So you can pretty much see this level being well respected in the past, right? Three rejections, another one, another one, another one, a fake deviation above, s- another rejection here. So probably a really good confluence for me on Mina would be getting acceptance above 8750, right? If it does that, then yeah, I'd agree with you. So if it gets starts getting acceptance above 8750ish, I'd agree that it could break higher. Hmm. Is it specifically memes getting sold off, or like our rest of the alts? Yeah, dominance is pushing higher. That makes sense. Oh, what is this alt that did like a vertical dump? Waves is getting delisted if I'm not wrong, right? That's probably causing this massive sell on waves. Yeah. uh, remember, like, I'll miss this coin, man. Like, waves was a fun coin. Anyone remember this waves run? This was the biggest scam ever in crypto. Yeah, it was a fun coin to have, to be honest. Like, good to trade whenever like it used to run. It used to run decent intraday. Uh, yeah, 100% late to short. I'm getting vibes that I might be catching flu soon. I've been sneezing since this evening. I think I should like front run the flu and start taking um, antibiotics and anti-allergy from now so that it doesn't worsen up. No, I don't have COVID, man. This reminds me what's True doing. Hmm. Quick scalp on waves. Just don't touch that coin, man. Like, if you're doing with really small position just for fun, okay, but just don't size up on such things. Why all? uh, when was I sick, man? Like, I think I haven't been sick for a while now. Antibiotics are bad for immune system. You should only take them if absolute necessary. Mm-hmm. I know, but also like, uh, most of the time when I have like swear flu, I do end up taking antibiotics because then it's not only flu. My throat worsens up. I start coughing a lot, and I just get like worse, like really bad with all this stuff. So I do end up every time taking antibiotics and having like a 5 day course. So, but yeah, you are right that y- more antibiotics you take, more your body gets dependent on them. uh, smoke some weed. SPX. Let's see. Wow, what a buyback on stocks we got. That was a bullish close. I agree. Yeah, already stopped. Just don't touch it, man. Yeah, stocks closed really bullish. uh, did you look on Pepe? Yeah, we did. I think a lot of people just need to zoom out on stuff. Just don't focus too much on intraday chop. What do you think about alts in total 2 right now? I usually don't look at total 2, and my only point is that I am bullish on BTC. As long as BTC is ranging and consolidating, alts could keep on dying, and that should, in fact, make you more bullish because more dominance led rally is and more dominance led move is, eventually market would trade higher, right? I don't see a reason why people start just crying and complaining about alts lacking and stuff, because you really don't want to see alts going insane and getting like a mini alt season while BTC isn't able to break all time highs, right? Ignore alts lower time frame, stick to them with your buys, spot buys and swings, and then just pray that BTC first leads the move, breaks higher, and eventually your alts would get plenty of time to catch up. Sorry, what was the outcome? Bullish or bearish for what? Pepe? Obviously, if I am in a swing long on Pepe, how could what we talked about ended up being like a bearish outcome? Like, just make it make sense, man. Like, and even if that wasn't enough to you, what does this thing tell you? Like, do you see this fat thing on my chart? What is this telling you? Like, even if you didn't know, there is a big long position on my chart. There is an arrow that's pointing upwards. I don't know how much more, uh, because the last three Pepe one, I think it was only the last one, no, right? Like the one where yeah, we took consecutive two stop loss on Pepe. I agree on challenge. Is it short? Yeah, it is a short setup. Great. Yeah, sure. Are we below our stream starting level? Nah, we are still. Yeah, we officially went a little. No, let's see. Can you whistle a little bit more, bro? Hmm. Granny, I hope. Granny Smith, I hope you are just messing around. Don't gamble with waves. Just as I said, you are already in great. Uh, I'm walking so hard for me to. Okay, makes sense. My PNL has been ranging for last 3 months, plus minus bull bear dev. That's kind of what market has been within a tight range. What is your thought on BRC20 tokens? First of all, I'm not into on-chain, like lower cap stuff, but you need to be a bit more specific. What BRC20 token? Like, I could see where that is coming from, right? Because BNB hype around the space and BNB running into all-time highs obviously would bring some rotation into BRC20 coins. But also at the same time, if there's like, I don't know, I don't personally see like BRC chain, BRC ecosystem going as hot as you could expect something going hot on ETH or Sol chain or base chain. I know, might be wrong, but I don't see the cycle people being really interested in BRC. To be honest, that's just like a personal opinion. Not being into trenches too much or on chain to talk it with confidence, but I still think this cycle people aren't into BRC. Like rats and sats. Nah, like They had the ordinal narrative, but I think that got faded away quickly. I see some of the ordinals running hot lately, but you need to pick your choices well. Yeah, I know. Overall, like I thought he first of all meant like lower cap BRC shitcoin trading. Like there was last cycle, right? Like last cycle BRC to overall, lower caps went insane. But I don't think that it happens this cycle. Secondly, about the ordinals, some of the ordinals have been running hot. I saw on BTC. So probably just focus on the good narrative, good meme stuff on ordinals. Don't just buy anything out. HPJ, can I ask an alt request from your favorite? uh, check out Lit. Is Lit still relevant in the market? Ah man, like who even wants to trade this coin? Like, and this is not a bear boost, right? It to me it looks like neither bullish nor bearish. It's just like something that's been doing this entire cycle, right? Like I don't know, man, what to say about these coins. Maybe like at least flip above this level, which is like 1.15 ish. Maybe I could be a bit more confident, but if these charts and coins are bullish for the cycle, then what happened over here shouldn't happen, right? Like this was almost, I think, my guess is 9 months range breakout that you got on lit over here, right? And what happened with this range breakout, right? Back within the bear market range. So not too much interested. Yeah, I could see like the level you have, same level we talked about here, like around 1.15 ish. If it flips there, probably could be a trade. But Lena is also kind of a lit bell unfi, not unfi still somehow runs good some part of the months, but bell lit uh few others including that shitcoin list, they don't move much to be honest. They just move like once a year. Is it only meme coins that are doing this right now, or is it like rest of the alts market too? Hmm. What's Sol doing? Yeah, that explains the bleed. Okay, let's get back. I was just doing a small uh, write up on BTC for the group. For any done with that? Problem? I don't think so. I was just not talking that time. Uh, PYR breaking down. I hate to trade that coin. I think BTC looks really good. I just posted my thoughts on the corner too. As long as you just don't lose mind over alt's weakness and are not betting heavy on alts intraday longs. For example, like if you like something like Pepe, instead of doing this where you long max leverage, max position size with like such tight stop loss, because if you are having this kind of setups, you will definitely lose mind, right? Because BTC would keep on doing this or even grinding higher while Pepe could do this, take your stop and then run higher, right? So instead, just zoom out. If you have want some exposure on some alts in this bleed, have exposure in this way, right? Where you have lower your position size a little, have a bit of wider invalidations, and then just let them play out, right? Because eventually they'd catch up with BTC, but just don't stress too much on lower time frame alts and majors price action, and focus on how good BTC looks on higher time frame, right? Hmm. Bonk, yeah, Bonk did hit stop loss wave. Structure looks better, I think. Yeah, I think you're kind of seeing Bonk to whiff rotation right now, but I'll probably not take any new intraday trade. Bonk, I think, was my only intraday trade I took, and by intraday I mean, where you take a bit of tighter stop loss, tighter targets, 5 6 stop loss, 5 10% move higher, stuff like that. I won't be taking such trades unless we break above 71K, because as I said, and I did try to explain in my write up too, we could just keep on doing this around 69K, right? While alts could just keep on bleeding. So I would just stop doing it, because it's much easier to just start longing everything once like 71K breaks, BTC is running higher, alts start to catch up. That's where you could just long alts with like a much higher probability than getting chopped up right now. Uh, mm, some sort of news. I don't think so. Like, at least not from here. Maybe like something like this. Worst case scenario, I'm saying, right? Runs into highs. Too much leverage piles up, and then we get like a quick flush and a V-shaped buyback, something of that sort. But not right now. I don't see any confluence for a nuke. I think a good, really good possibility is, and that's something I'd warn people once we reach there. I don't want to FUD people beforehand. Is that something of this sort? Where, if you remember, we had this very long range on BTC, and finally it broke out. People got super euphoric, and look at the flush we got, and then a V-shaped buyback, right? Ignore what happened after that, because that was like a lot of ETF sales. But right now, I think something you could expect is, this is a prolonged range market's been waiting for a break on, right? So just don't be too like, I could personally, like, the worst case scenario I'm talking about, right? Like, if you really have to expect a nuke and you want to be really bearish on a nuke, only nuke scenario I could see is we breaking out of a range, doing this, running into like 70 to 73K, making everyone super euphoric. But again, my only confidence of expecting that is if I start to see some major OI built up, fundings going insane, people getting euphoric, and if price starts to bleed back within the range, that's your runaway signal, right? Because then that's a possibility you could see some flush candle on BTC, like a 10% candle, and then V-shape buyback, something of that sort. But not right now. I I don't see 66K coming, and you know there are times when I am really confident with what I am seeing, and I'm pretty much confident that we break higher before any major move down on BTC. I am not confident on 99.9% of the market because rest looks shit right now. But BTC specifically, I think we rips higher very very soon. Jeff, how I would be doing is I would Jeff probably be timing it with ETH, right? Like I'd be just taking it as a ETH beta, so I'd base on what ETH is doing and how like market is looking overall. So probably like first, obviously, good TP would be like closer to previous all-time high. That would still be like a 10-15% move, I would say. I think it would be like a 20% move if I'm not wrong, right? If it runs into all-time high, maybe like a 15%, whatever. First would be that. Then we'd just look to time it with ETH and rest of market. Yeah, Mog is pretty clean to trade, to be honest. Every time it goes to 14 cents, you try along TP at 15, 16 cents and just keep on repeating. Can we look at ETH to BTC chart? Okay. Yeah, and they're really volatile. Like you catch a good entry on Mog and it's like instant 10-15% in next few hours. It actually happened when I called out this morning for the group. Like I called out Mog and then I had just weird caution signals looking at how, just OI was constantly piling up on BTC. I closed Pepe and Mog above entry. And then like an hour later, I looked at Mog like up 13-14% from the entry I had. So it's like a clean range play. You could keep on playing until proven otherwise. So yeah, someone asked about ETH to BTC. It did take a decent hit today, but uh, overall, I think I'll personally expect something like this. Like for now, I think short term you could still expect a bit more of ETH outperformance. Sorry, underperformance because it's not technically ETH underperformance. Everything is underperforming right now on the market, right? Sol is underperforming, ETH is underperforming. Every major is doing that, excluding BNB. Um, and the major reason is rotation. Whenever BTC is consolidating at range highs, market is more of interested into rotating into BTC than into any of the other stuff, right? So probably unless BTC breaks into new highs or like at least above 71, 72, you could expect something like this on ETH to BTC, maybe a bit more of chop. But eventually, I think it trips higher. To be honest, getting closer to ETF S1 approval. All alts, yeah, everything is taking a big hit, which actually makes me really bullish. Like, if there are people who were there in the beginning of the stream, we talked about how like one of my major confluence of being really bullish on BTC here for a range break, right? Because someone could say me that it's a logical thing to expect another deviation, just like last time happened, right? So if this is the range you are considering, we had this deviation, so why not the second time, right? My point is when I compare these two moves, one, this was an impulsive, aggressive move. This is more of a natural, slow push up, which is way more healthier than a single candle push up, right? One, confluence. Second, I don't really believe in two deviations, right? For me, a range play is one deviation. Second time it goes higher, right? I don't really believe in two deviations. Third, and the most important is in past of the two tops around 71 and 70K we had, in both of these two, alts and majors right at top started catching up strong and they were running hot, right? Like this was the time ETH gave like 30% candle a day. This was also the time like for a day at least alt started running strong and things started running strong, right? But now this third time it's actually like most of the alts and majors are actually trading even lower than the prices when BTC was at range lows, right? Everything is shitting the bed, bleeding down, whatever you call that, right? That is what actually makes me bullish in this third push up. I don't think it repeats like last two times because the market dynamics are different than last two times. So overall, I have a really strong confidence of we ripping higher on BTC. Rahim, if like 99.9% of the market doesn't know about the exact time frame of S1 approval, how would I know? Like, it's could be few weeks, few months, could keep on getting dragged. I don't have someone on SAC telling me when it's going to you know go forward with this one approval. I think for BTC, after the B12 got approved, it was like few weeks for BTC that this one got approved. So at least keep in time span of like few weeks. Uh, no, there is no date on S1 approval yet. It's just speculation, and to be honest, that's bullish because the max move BTC gave into the ETF hype wasn't when ETF was approved or we got closer to the ETF approval, right? Because when we actually got closer to the ETF approval, we just started chopping heavy and just ranging around, right? Most of the upside on BTC was built up due to the speculation of ETF, right? More it was getting delayed, more speculation, more higher on BTC, right? That's, I think, the same case on ETH. The later S1 would be more speculation on ETH, more market would be bullish on ETH, and I think that would make ETH go much higher than the actual S1 approval, right? So I think I don't even care about when the S1 approval would be. Might take few weeks, maybe a month or two. But overall, the more market speculate into the ETH ETF, the more buyers you'd have. Uh, No, Rahim, if I'm not wrong, and if I what I read was correct, BTC also after I think either it was B12 or some other form, BTC also had stepwise approval. It was not like everything got approved at a single time. It was like initial approval, and then like few weeks later, it was uh, the actual like the ETF BTC approval that we got and everyone was waiting for. That was the S1 approval. We already had done few initial stages. If I read it right, maybe I'm wrong, but I just like a week back I read a long thread on ETF approvals, and that is what I concluded. Okay, give me a minute. I need to refill my water and grab a power cable. Till then, feel free to mention anything you want. The BTC looks great, man. I don't know how anyone could be bearish in market right now. Stop focusing on alts, even though they are shitting the bed, but probably they would keep on doing shit. Keep on shitting the bed, to be honest. I do like AR, but I'll just stick to my discipline, man. Like after taking a stop loss on Bonk, I'm really mad at myself of going against my rule. Like this morning, I woke up and decided to not take any intraday trade unless BTC breaks higher. I went against that taking Bonk. Now I won't. Mog? Mog is just ranging and chopping around, to be honest. Yeah. You could try a play because it's at range lows, probably moves higher, but just don't like. I would still say if you're bullish on ETH and bullish on memes, why are you trying to max leverage these stuff, right? Just like buy a bit of smog, and the way the chart looks insane, you would make some great returns if once ETH starts running, right? Like Mog could pretty much easily run at least like a 2-3x if ETH starts running. So why are you trying to get chopped up in these conditions? That's all my point. But yeah, just give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Okay, that's great. Uh, Man, I love this power bank. This is like probably the most, like return wise, the best investment I made. Like I waste a lot of money on random stuff that I see on internet, but this power bank is insane. But yeah, let's come back to the market. What's BTC doing? To be honest, if by I just want a bit more confirmation because why don't we simply long BTC here? To be honest, yeah, I think I'll just wait a little. Like I need a bit more confluence for like 4 hour close. If by the next 4 hour close we are still above 69, I might take a BTC long as a breakout play. As I said, I have strong confidence of we holding 69 and ripping higher. Yeah, you could like if you are looking for a BTC long, you could probably follow John's call. I think he's long from the same levels. Yeah. I also think Saul eventually catches up soon. I see a lot of doom posting. Like I saw a really like decent sized CT account. Like I think he had like 100K followers, and he posted that he's max shorting with really big size, and the kind of trade he had was this. Right for now, seems like he's in profit, but the stop loss he had was literally the level like I at least expect Saul to reach, right? And why do I expect that is, and we have talked about a lot because since it's been like a week we are ranging below that we have this flat daily open on Saul, which I at least expect to revisit before anything to the downside. Which I don't think downside, but still, if you got to be expecting downside, it should be like after this daily sweep and something like this. Still don't think this would play out, but at least I think a push into this daily, flat daily, like 176 ish, is something I at least expect Sol to do. So I think most probably it would be something, you know, I really think it would be on Sol that it keeps on doing this, you know, where it makes people lose mind, and it has been doing this because technically, even though people are losing mind on Sol and stuff like that, but when you measure it from highs, it's only down like 5%, right? I could still kind of consider it in a range it is in, but probably just make people lose a bit more of mind, right? Bleed down. Nothing major percentage wise, but just like smaller percentage grinds down and then eventually rip higher. Like cancel out all this bleed in a single few candles push up. When will things go up if they always go up and come back? Rhyme, that's the point, right? You are trying to um like it's a ranging market, right? So that's what you should be expecting. But I think it resolves soon. The only thing to watch for is like for now, I have a strong confidence for a push into 71 point 572K at least. But as I said, one thing to look for, and like I don't want to post right now, because it would just fud people out. But I think a likely scenario is that we push into 70 to 73K, make people super euphoric, right? And then have a quick sell off, flush, and then back up. And that's actually, I expect a strong bull run on the market, right? So, and I would probably call out some stink bits, some like flush stink bits once we like approach 70 to 73K. Not right now, because right now I expect a push higher on market towards like at least 70 to 73, but that's a really logical outcome to expect. And I think flushes have kind of been things that actually ignite the runs up, right? So I wouldn't be surprised same case happens over here. Range break, trap everyone, super euphoric, and flush everyone, big liquidation day, and what starts the bull run and alts rotation and everything. I think what on the downside, how deep the flush could go. I think a logical flush in the past on BTC has been 10%, 8%. Yeah, 8 to 10%. So if we expect anything from range highs, kind of like a 8% would be like 67, 65K. Nothing major down, like 66, 66, 67. Yeah. But not now. Again, don't confuse. I'm not calling a flush right now, but I think after a decent run, 3 4K up on BTC alts and majors start catching up a little. Things seem to be green for a day or two. People start to get euphoric, range break, people calling for all time high. I think that's where you could expect a flush, but not now. How much would you guess my power bank is outputting right now to my Mac for charging? How many watts? Yeah, people are just leaving the stream now. There are only like 29, 28 people. 80 watt? Nah, more. 185, nah, that's insane. It's currently outputting almost 140 watt. And the reason being that my Mac is like the max you could input to the MacBook Pro is 140 watt. This power bank actually supports 250 watts, which is like insane. Like, let me show you people. uh, that is 150 watt. I am still out trading you on the power bank. The one I have is 150, and it also has this cool looking display, and it also charges at 150 watt or I think 200 watt something. Okay, enough of shilling power banks. Let's get back to the market. Mm-hmm. 67K? To be honest, at this point, like, mm, I don't think so, man. Like 67.5, yeah, demand, something like this could be, but I still don't think this ends up being like a second deviation like you had. Like expecting 67K is pretty much you are expecting this to be a deviation and a move back into range lows, right? I don't think this second deviation plays out. I think we eventually rip higher. Yeah, there's like a lot of confluence there. I agree. As you said, I personally haven't looked at whether where Monday low monthly open is, but you have high time frame demand, range lows, Monday low, monthly open, whatever. Great area, but for now, let's see. I personally don't think we go into 67Ks for now. Roaring Kitty is the new. Yeah, true. I agree. Like every time that guy shows up, meme coins, like crypto memes, at least just start shitting the bed. Yeah, I just longed BTC for a small scalp, calling out for the group two. Plus, you also have a flat hourly open. Waves 33% down same day. Like, first of all, Waves nuking has nothing to do with Roaring Kitty, right? It's actually like Waves getting delisted, so that kind of explains the sales. And yeah, but on the meme stuff, I agree. His comeback have been super annoying on the markets, meme markets. Why you long the nuke? Where's the nuke? Like we are still literally ranging on lower time frame every time frame. I might be going to sleep. What stop loss do you suggest? It's a manual Zatoka. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but it's a spot low leverage play for me. So probably like unless Arlie closes below 1300 ish, I'm still in the play. Jack, it's kind of what we have experienced a lot of time in the past too, right? Like if you remember, this past 40-44K range we had, right? These were the times where every time we went into range highs and stuff, dominance started getting super bullish, all started getting sold off hard on small rejections. So it's actually like I don't know why people lose mind over alts like, and I think I have repeated this few times on the stream already that in the last, like if we look at the past two tops at 71 72K, right? This one was the top where ETH and alts like ETH gave a 30% candle on that. They all started going insane. right? This was also the time where you saw a lot of catch up on the alts and major side, right? Usually whenever like BTC's fails to break a level and everything else start running hot and all start catching up, that's actually a bearish signal for me, right? On the other hand, the reason I expect this third time to be different is most of the stuff and alts are actually trading below the range lows kind of prices on BTC, right? So usually whenever like BTC pushes higher and consolidates for a while like rest of the stuff starts selling down, that's for me is personally bullish. So I think like if you want to be bullish on market, just be bullish on BTC and be bullish on dominance, right? Yes, short term it could be a big pain. Uh, looking at BTC going higher and your alts not doing it, but eventually you'd want BTC to lead, right? You can't expect a alt season while BTC doesn't break higher, right? You never get alt season without BTC going higher. So let's first be bullish on BTC, let BTC break higher. Till then, just don't stress too much on alts intraday longs, right? Because alts could keep on bleeding, keep on acting weird, while BTC just consolidates, slow grind higher and stuff like that. Imagine BTC pulls back 5%. Yeah, that's for sure. But I don't think so, to be honest. What is the position? You are threes BTC long. Okay, this is a perps position, right? If I'm not wrong, it's all USDT. You used to be a spot guy, no? Like I remember talking to you past months during this bull market. You used to be like, I'm all in spot and stuff. When did you switch to taking 2 5x leverage swings on alts? I would only say one thing, that Jack, only swing alts on leverage if you are if you know about your liquidations. And I would say like your liquidations are pretty close to zero. That's the only way, because I know that ends up being spot, because liquidation zero means you are spot. But I think the what happened during the war fud, right? You remember a month ago during war fud, kind of made people learn that literally there is no leverage that is safe in the market, right? Alts could pull up a 50% candle or a 40% candle in any day. And the most painful thing would be that you'd get liquidated right at the bottom, right? Because even if there is a 3x leverage, a 30% or a 35% wick down or candle down or alts would pretty much liquidate your position, right? And those flushes and those candles could come up at any stage of the market. Just be mindful of that, right? I still recommend most of the people to trade and leverage as much as you want, but just don't swing with good sizes on leverage. That's all I would say. Mhm. Eli wants bottom range test at 64K. Every trader has their own bias, right? I just personally think we rip higher from here. Last time we had such big bearish CVT divergence on BTC price went to 30K. Okay. We need to rip higher. Fam missed my flight back home from Japan because I went to wrong airport. Had to book a new flight to. Okay, makes sense. So probably market cares about your flight losses and would uh, listen to you and go higher. What's ETH doing? Yeah, looks shit. Okay, I guess this would be it from my side. It's been a long stream. I think we have been streaming for like more than 3 hours now. So that would be it. Uh, to just summarize, I would still say things look super bullish, high time frame. Just make sure to not get chopped out on alts intraday longs, right? You find a good setup, try it with small risk just to keep yourself engaged. These you know pre BTC breakout times are the worst times you could push on alts, right? Because that's where most of the market participants are concerned on BTC. Most of the rotations are happening on BTC. There is very less liquidity left for the rest of your alts, right? That would only come once BTC breaks higher, and then people start to chase that BTC move through your alts, right? So far, as long as we are ranging consolidating, don't over like push on alts intraday, right? If you find a good alt that you want exposure, once we break higher on the market, buy a bit of spot and then just you know keep observing what BTC does and forget about that alt, because eventually once BTC breaks higher, things would play catch up. But just don't stress too much on intraday and lose your mind over small rejections or chops and stuff like that. So that's it from my side. Hope you people had a good time. Talk to you people soon. Take care. Allah Hafiz.